So here it is. This came from a TikTok user, Paulina Pulera. I want to give her a shout out right there. And again, she was in Hawaii and she noticed they were filming the live action Lilo and Stitch movie. And here you go, my boys. This is what Stitch is looking like in the movie. Now, you got to remember, I'm pretty sure Stitch is still going to be fully CGI in the movie when it comes out. And this right here is most likely a puppet being used for lighting and reference purposes, like the Sonic movie 2 set photos. Let me pull those up. See, that way you know what I'm talking about. See here, this guy here whose job it is to grab Sonic by the groin. These are the puppets. They just have them on set and they're just there for like lighting references. So when they go in and do the CGI, they know where light is hitting them. And then it's all technical computer stuff, okay? Just believe me when I tell you. So, because I saw some people getting confused and we're like, oh, they're gonna like they're gonna Grogu it like Baby Yoda and you know use an actual puppet and animatronic. That'd be awesome. But I feel like that would also add a little bit of a low budget quality to the movie if Stitch moved kind of the way Baby Yoda or Grogu does in The Mandalorian, where he just turns his head, blinks his eyes, and goes, because Stitch is a very animated, moving type of character. Like, that'll work for a little bit, but if you want Stitch climbing things and fighting and all that, that's where you got to throw in that CGI budget, right? And I've been wanting to see what Stitch looks like for the longest time here, because don't forget the last photo we got. Let me see if it's even on there. Lilo and Stitch live action. Let's see if it's still on here. It's probably all covered up because it's been hours now. But there was one photo that came out a long time ago where they were surfing, and you could, oh yeah, see right here. This was the first photo we got like ages ago. You see Stitch right there? Like, that's the first photo we got back in, ooh, this was a long time ago, months ago. And I was like, oh my God, you could squint, zoom in, enhance computer. And I was like, he looks all right. Could be terrible, looks all right. And now finally we got the glammed up look. So again, I think it looks great. This could easily be a terrible Sonic situation. We'll have to wait and see how it looks whenever the full CGI is added on. But if this is the model they're going off of and this is what they're basing it, I think they did a great design. I was really scared because don't forget, Stitch was also getting all these terrible like AI freaking photos being made of it. See, Stitch live action. Look at all these terrible photos people have made over the years, and people fall for them. You know how many times I was tagged in either one of these photos, whether it was the one on the right or the one on the left. The one on the left is made with AI too, so even more terrible. But these photos genuinely tricked people online. People saw those and went, Chris, did you see what they did? They butchered my boy. Oh, they ruined it. Disney always. These were never real, but man, did a lot of people actually see. Even right here, this article is live action Stitch just got more horrifying. Fans petition for Disney to cancel the film. Again, because they thought these were the real images of what Stitch was going to look like. Thank freaking goodness that wasn't the case. So I think this will be cool. Now, looking at the scene they're filming here, it's obvious Stitch is probably taking over this little toy car. Anybody have some of these when they were a kid? I had one. They were fun. Riding around in the lake. I'm thinking he's taking it for a joyride, and that's why it's like all muddied up, broken window, things going crazy. Now, aside from Stitch, the TikTok also had our first look at Lilo, who's going to be played by actress Maya Kalua. Hopefully I said that right. And I didn't notice this. People had to tell me in the TikTok I made because I missed it. But if you see in the little passenger seat, they also got Lilo's doll right. So I think the doll's name is Scrump. I think Scrump is what people were telling me. And I was like, okay, that's a nice little detail they added on in there. And Lilo's also wearing her iconic red shirt right there. They decided to give her overalls. I was like, all right, that's a nice touch. So look, it's all happening there. Now, the last big thing we heard with this Lilo and Stitch movie is that it was going to Disney Plus, right? That was the plan, and honestly, that like already broke my heart because I was like, oh, dude, going to Disney Plus. Aside from the Pixar movies that should never have gone straight to Disney Plus, every straight to Disney Plus movie has not been great. You know, you got Home Sweet Home Alone. The Lady and the Tramp movie was cute, but it felt low budget. It felt like those Air Buddies spin-off sequels. You remember those? Those Air Buddy movies? But Lady and the Tramp was cute, though. But everything else I've seen movie-wise that went straight to Disney Plus was not a fan of. So when I heard that for this movie, I was like, oh, dude. They ruined it. It's not going to be good. They'll have the money pumped in, but it's probably not good enough. Then, recently, just a few months ago, in fact, when they were having the earnings call a couple of weeks back, there's reports coming out that Disney's actually looking to make this to go straight to theaters, and this is part of their new change where it's quality over quantity. And at first I was like, "Oh, really?" But it makes sense when you think about the Moana situation. Remember, we got announced Moana 2, but that's because that was going to be a Disney Plus show, and then they were like, "Nah, let's make this a movie." And that's why we have Moana 2 coming out now instead of the Disney Plus show. So this makes sense to me too. Is Disney is now banking in more on their properties, on their IPs, and treating them like the big movies they are, especially since they spend big movie money on these things. Like, just because it was going to go to Disney Plus, I don't think it was going to look cheap. It was going to be an expensive movie. So that's good to know if it's going to go straight there. See, I'm already seeing some people say like it's probably gonna be a flop. It's gonna suck. Like, see here, it's probably gonna flop. Who knows, man? It's definitely like up and down. I'm gonna have to wait and see. Like, I'm just basing off this image. I think Stitch looks great, and I'm looking forward to it because, like, think of the opening scene of Lilo and Stitch. Let me see if I can pull that up. Lilo and Stitch opening. I think just like that alone in live action would look so cool, right? Is like here you have all the aliens and the guy who did all the science experiments, and then you have Stitch escaping. I don't know if this part plays. No, it doesn't play the escape, but like Stitch escaping and blasting off and getting onto his ship and all that. Like in live action, that's just gonna look dope. And that's kind of the things I'm like. That's a part of it where it does get me excited. But for all we know, yeah, it could be very bad. Disney has not done the best job sometimes with these live action adaptations, or they just add nothing new and it's just what you've already seen just in live action form. And with the thing they're doing with Moana, because Moana is going live action, people already started going, dang, there's going to come a day where we get live action Toy Story. We're going to get live action Monsters Inc. And unfortunately, that's just going to be the case. 5 years from now, live action Toy Story, live action Monsters Inc. And it just feels a little unnecessary. But yeah, they about to butcher my boy. I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. But so far, I like the way Stitch looks. I think they did a good job. And hopefully the movie is good. I'm just finally glad I don't have to worry about this being an ugly Sonic situation. Because like even the first Sonic prop, let me see. Sonic movie one stand-in. Even the stand-in looks scary, buddy. Let's see it. Sonic movie. Yeah, look at that. Like even the stand-in was scary looking. I was like, oh jeez. Dude, like that'd be something in your nightmares. Imagine that thing coming and walking up to you. So that's why I'm saying, although he's still gonna be CGI in the movie, this is the exact design they're going with. Because look, that's a pretty accurate design of what we got the first time around before they redesigned it. So I think it's safe to say they nailed it and it'll be good. So hopefully this turns out good. But yeah, there you go. Live action Lilo and Stitch, my friends.